Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you're probably aware by now, a massive attack on a Christmas market in Germany resulted in 12 people dead, 48 people injured. At least those are the numbers we have right now. And now the German citizens, well, they want answers. Not only do they want to know who did it, resulting in a major manhunt right now, but also they want to know why these events continue to happen in such similar fashion. A German state minister has now said that Germany is in a state of war. I'm joined by Maggie Howell in studio now. Maggie, what do you think is going on in Germany right now? They say they're at war, but, you know, political correctness says, well, we can't really say that.
Well, I think that this minister couldn't have said it better. You know, these are Merkel's dead, but if you say that these are Merkel's dead, that she has blood in her hands, you're a part of the far right because you're criticizing her open door immigration policy that ultimately leads to attacks like this when you have a mass number of people that are not vetted. And the Sun, it's really annoying to me, Owen, because they put this article up. Germany's facing the biggest rise in right-wing support since the 30s. So they're basically saying if you love your country, if you question Angela Merkel, if you question her policies and her politics, you are a Nazi. So that's how they're framing this already. And it looks like they don't even know who did this. They released Navad B, the original suspect, the 23-year-old Pakistani. They're claiming that there's a terrorist that's armed, that's still at large. They're raiding this airport with 13,000 migrants in this makeshift camp, trying to find out who actually did this. Meanwhile, we've got 12 people dead. Why are they dead? Because they went shopping at a Christmas market, 50 people injured, most of them critically injured. And you see the pictures coming out of this, where this one man in particular breaks your heart. He was dragged by the lorry. His body was underneath the truck. And yet Merkel, we just don't really know what's causing this. I mean, it's really unfortunate. I'd hate to think it was one person that we let in.
There's no pattern here.
No, not at all. And if you say so, well, you're going to be charged with hate speech, you Nazi. Okay, really?
It does seem, though, that there are more people willing to go and, you know, open up this rhetoric, talking about the migration policy being the big cause of all these terror attacks and all the unrest and the clash of civilizations. But it's interesting, you talk about the powerful images that came from the scene of the lorry attack, truly brutal. But also there's some powerful images in this Sun story. You know, they've got 13,000 migrants in this old airport. And you know, obviously you have to wonder, okay, well, all these migrants are flooding the border. We've seen these images. Where are they going? Where are they going? Well, this kind of shows you. This is the migrant camp that they're housing these people in. Now, obviously, we're humanitarians. We want, you know, refugees to be helped. We want them to be safe. We understand what has caused the destabilization of that region. However,
that's right.
This is something that now you talk about Germany, the state minister saying we're in a state of war. Well, are they harboring the very people that they're fighting in this camp?
It's utter chaos. You know, the policies are so run amok. And Nigel Farage, he sent out this tweet. He said, look, this is Merkel's legacy. Here you go. This is it right here. You know, the unvetting. Do you remember the policy she had in 2015? If you could make it to the Hungarian border, we're going to let you in. And by the official count, it was 900,000 people. They don't really know. Owen, there isn't an official record because the process was so hurried and so rushed. They were letting people in, flooding through the border. And this person, this Navad B, this Pakistani, he actually was on Interpol's list for a sex crime in Germany, not deported. Nothing happens to you. You know, you and I have talked about this time and again on InfoWars. You know, the mass rape crisis going on in Germany, the mass assault crisis going on in parts of France and Germany, and it's swept under the rug. It takes an attack like this for us to even be able to cover it at length because, you know, it becomes global news. But if we're just talking about a 10-year-old boy who was sexually assaulted at a swimming pool, well, that's not really news, you know. But this, we really can't ignore this. I'm going by the mainstream media, of course. And their definition of what's really news, but they're not even calling a spade here. And the kicker for me, right-wing support since the 1930s. Oh yeah, don't you dare question Merkel, you Nazi. That's where all of the direction for the news is going for the day. And we still have somebody at large. So that's it.
And imagine if you're a German police officer or inside Germany, you know, all this is going on and you're sitting here You're scared to go shopping for Christmas. You're scared to send your daughters out alone.
Right.
You're scared because, well, it's just
Not
becoming
your
more
daughter,
dangerous.
your mother's, your 80-year-old mother is not. Nobody is immune from this. And look, this is not an attack on refugees for me. This is a counterattack because I see the attack on Christianity. I see the attack on Western civilization. It makes me very angry. I hate doing stories like this because, you know, it is what it is, and yet we can't actually say that. We can't stand up. I happen to be a Christian. If you're not, that's fine. But I don't like this. I mean, it was clearly targeted. We're talking about a Christmas market mowing people over for being in the vicinity. We covered this last week on InfoWars too. There was a 12-year-old boy that stuck 2 bombs outside this Christmas market, couldn't effectively blow it up. I'm not sure if it's the same market, but Christmas market in Berlin as well. And 50,000 Christian statues have been defaced. We talked about that in Germany. Somebody going around smashing crosses, Christ on the cross, for example, breaking the arms off of statues. And there's a war going on. There's a war going on for symbolism. There's a war going on for anybody celebrating Christmas. And there's Merkel just laying a white rose going, I hope it's not who we think it is. Vote her out. It's time to take a stand for your own civilization. It's time to say, you know what? We love our country. We're taking it back. And we believe in our own customs and our own civilization, and we're not letting it be overrun. It's as simple as that.
Well, and I got to say, again, if I'm a German citizen, I see the images from the lorry that went through the Christmas market. Then I see the images of this refugee camp today that houses 13,000 migrants. And I'm just scratching my head thinking, what the hell is going on? Whose policies are these? What happened to my Germany? Okay, so you start to dig and you say, okay, well, there's been destabilization in the Middle East, and now all these people are flooding our borders. Okay, so you know what? We want to help them. We want to bring them in. Okay, but then you would think these people would be grateful that Germany brought them in, housed them, got them out of their war-torn areas. But instead, what you're seeing is a lot of these migrants cross over the border and they're bitter. And they're violent, and they want to disrupt society. And then because of the utter chaos and the numbers of them, and they can't actually get them into any systems, they just kind of float around. They just kind of get through the seams and the cracks. And then this kind of stuff, just continues to happen. So what do you do if you're Germany? Do you say, you know what, enough of all of you, figure your own troubles out? Or do you continue to use this policy that is threatening the safety of your nation? And I think the German people are going to speak in the next election.
I hope they do. 4 months away, if I'm not mistaken. And look, again, this is not an attack on refugees. You know, my heart bleeds for these people. You look at the photographs of Aleppo, those children, those orphans. It's a despicable thing, you know, and unfortunately, our policies, our State Department, our leadership had a hand in destabilizing Syria. You know, President Obama made the case to go to war with Syria and invade them in 2013, but he didn't have the public support to do so. Can you imagine? And the humanitarian crisis that unfortunately U.S. politics had a hand in their destruction. And this is not about, blacklisting or shaming a specific people for being a refugee. This is about, an attack, a visible attack on Western civilization, on Christianity, on the German people. And unfortunately, they have a leader that will not acknowledge it and has a policy that will punish anybody that speaks out against it.
Well, and whether or not you think that these leaders are consciously doing this or not, they are destabilizing multiple regions now. So they're going to go and destabilize the Middle East. We've covered this. You just talked about Syria. We know what's going on there. But now, I guess in a social justice warrior mindset to try to fix their wrongs or to just try to help these people, I don't really understand it. Or is it an effort to destabilize their own region? Because that's what's happening now. Their own regions in Europe are becoming destabilized because of this mass flow of migrants.
That's right. And you know what? Again, people need to speak up. This is not about some alt-right movement from the 30s. This is not about an attack on Merkel and her failed policies. This is about saying enough is enough. We have had enough. We're taking back our country. Look, here in the States, and I want people listening to us that are global to be encouraged because, we stand with you and we support you. We love your civilization, your culture. We want to see it protected. And we understand that you have a humanitarian heart. support, which has possibly been taken advantage of. And we just want to make sure that people understand that they do have a voice, that they can speak out against this. And Merkel, this will be her legacy. Oh, and this will be her legacy.
I agree. And this is all, to me, perpetrated by lies in the media and by the government about why we go to these wars.
In case you haven't heard, InfoWars has become the most influential media outlet in America. We're making freedom go viral. And now we are proud to announce a new weapon in the epic battle against the globalists. InfoWars Prime, where you can watch live high-definition feeds of The Alex Jones Show, plus exclusive insider videos from the InfoWars crew and behind-the-scenes action. Go to Infowars.com/app and download today. InfoWars Prime is available right now for your iPhone or Android. You will have access to exclusive videos that you can't see anywhere else. And that means live coverage of events and breaking news on location as it happens. You can also take advantage of amazing deals from the InfoWars store that are only available for InfoWars Prime subscribers. That's InfoWars Prime at Infowars.com/app. And if you can hear my voice, you are the resistance.